we're kicking off PACE 2026 in London today at the Cabinet War Rooms. We've brought together the place directors from various local authorities across the country, together with experts, to think about how you work on the system rather than being trapped in it.
System change feels hardest, I think, when we don't have time to reflect properly, we don't have time to look up and look out, and we're trying to react every day to customer expectations and member engagement, and that's really important.
The biggest leadership tension I believe is existing is the balance between what the expectation is from the people who you're trying to provide services to, and actually the financial reality and the situation, the political situation that we're currently all operating in. Obviously there is increased costs in terms of providing services, but we don't have increased budgets, but people expect the same level of service. That is a huge issue that we need to try and balance.
So I think from an economic perspective, a system level shift is the sheer shift we've seen in a macroeconomic environment. So economic growth won't be delivered by momentum alone anymore, and actually we're going to need local leaders to define what matters for their place, what are the sort of key economic growth factors they're seeking to drive, and really define strategy and policy to sort of make the most of that. So I think to shift from managing today to shaping the future, you really need to understand what are the big global trends that are driving economic performance and understanding what they might look like in the next 10 to 20 years. That requires a shift from sort of short-term economic policy to long-term economic policy, and having a real sort of big view as to what might the world look like in 10 to 20 years' time and how might that impact our local area. And I guess the key challenge for local leaders to define and develop economic policy that makes the most of that.
The government has promised really substantial improvements in public service performance over the course of this Parliament. It's promised return NHS waiting times to target, to increase access to adult social care, those sorts of things. That requires a lot of additional investment up front to make sure you can hit those short-term goals. But that can come at the expense of investment in longer-term priorities like making a shift towards prevention or devolving more power down to local areas. In our view, one of the biggest opportunities for unlocking system-wide leverage is to make better use of the wide range of really deep and detailed data that exists across public services. We've spoken to areas that have been able to better share data between different organisations, which has then led to more targeted spending, better services for users, and better value for money overall for services.
So in terms of rebuilding local trust, I think there's a lot of really brilliant partnerships I come across in the work I do, where you've got local authorities working with voluntary sector, with communities, and really building kind of infrastructures that people use. I think if place leaders could change one thing about the system, I think it would be really making the most of those opportunities to connect across, to work across the whole system, and really put place at the centre of what they're doing.
I think the capability that somebody working as place director needs to work across the system is the ability to convene people and bring multiple different organisations together, whether that's the voluntary sector, whether it's the communities themselves, whether it's all of the different institutions that you might want to work to. I think that ability to be personable and to actually encourage people to participate is going to be an incredibly important skill to have.
The PACE Leadership Programme gives us the opportunity to do those things which keep us strategic in our thinking, but also help us communicate more effectively as a peer network.
So actually we're all having similar experiences, but probably very, very different outcomes are coming out of them. So I think that's the main thing for myself, is obviously just getting all of those different views, all of those different experiences, and trying to pull them together to see what I can learn from them.
I think what gives me confidence in the future of PACE leadership is the great work we're already doing, that we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So there's some great stuff going on already, and I think we can continue that through ADEPT and through the PACE Leadership Programme.